in order for me to really understand my faults, I can't have any type of arrogance and saying, no, I'm totally fine. Most people, they don't see their own faults. And when they look in the mirror, they think they see the symbol of perfection. So Hashem is very kind, and He sends a lot of people around us to tell you where your faults are. But that doesn't always work, because there is ego there. I need to know how to humble myself, to be able to recognize in me my weaknesses. And this is the avodah that I need to do now for the next week and a half. I need to take myself aside, out of any distractions, and to sit with myself, like that, with a piece of paper and a pen, and say, okay, let me write down now on one side of the paper all the good character traits that I have, and the good positive things that I have, and on the left side, write all the negative ones. I want to concentrate on the negative ones, but in order for me not to fall into depression and sadness and low self-esteem, I need to also see that I also have a lot of good things. There's no such a thing that a person only has bad things. Everybody has a good balance. You have a lot of good character traits. You can be very loving, very caring, very generous, very thoughtful, and much more. But you're always going to have a few bad things. And everybody has it. Doesn't mean you're bad, doesn't mean you're mean, doesn't mean that your parents failed. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that that's what you need to refine. Everybody gets a job. We have a custom in our house, that our house is usually very messy. You have a lot of kids, then that equals a messy house. And not only that, a lot of kids, our house is like a train station, so there's always a mess. So, and we, every now and then, it's sometimes once a day, sometimes 10 times a day, we form the kids and we gotta fix up the house. And I start giving jobs. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, and always there will be one of the kids that doesn't do anything, and I'm like, why aren't you doing anything? Well, you didn't tell me what to do. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter what to do, just do something. No, you have to tell me what to do. So, and some of the kids will come and says, what's my job? Okay, your job is the living room, your job is the kitchen. Same thing here, Hashem gave us jobs. And He gave your job, you deal with anger. Your job, you deal with jealousy. Your job, you deal with depression. Every person has to deal with something. It doesn't mean you are bad, or that you are a bad product. Chas v'shalom. But don't look to blame it. My parents, my childhood, my background. Hashem gave each and every one of us a job. And He says, I want you to refine the midah of anger, and you to refine the midah of the attribute of patience. But I was told by my mom when I was a little kid, you're so smart, you're so good, you're so handsome, you're so this. And even my mom is not even a Polish mom. It's just usually moms are telling their kids how perfect they are. So most people grow up with, of course, I'm God's gift to the world. So I have to be a little bit practical here, and I have to take a piece of paper. I like working with papers and pens, and I write down all my good character traits. And I need to know where is my strong point. And I need to know that, and I need to acknowledge that, and I need to nourish that. And I, chas v'shalom, cannot take credit for that. I can't say, I'm so courteous, and I'm so charitable, and I'm so generous. And no, Hashem is allowing you to do that, because if Hashem wants, He turns the switch off, and you lose all your qualities. But more, this is just to make sure that I have some type of confidence to deal with a long list of the bad character traits that I have. And I urge you, do it with a list. You can't do it in your mind, because it doesn't work well. I just gave you before the example